You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hi there, Young and the Restless fans. Right now, we have Jordan Howard ignoring Ian Ward's orders, and she's playing him for a fool. Once he finds out, he may snap and attack Jordan. But remember, she would fight back against Ian. She's not the kind of person to let somebody do anything to her. So will these two psychos kill each other? And that's how the villains exit. That could be a lot of fun. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt. And if you're not subscribed, please click that button and let's talk about what's ahead for these two. This week, Ian is upset. He's scrolling through the news feeds on his phone and he doesn't see any headlines about Sharon Newman's death. He's hoping to see a, gruesome headline about, Sharon Newman's body found in river, drowned, and that way he can pull the trigger on the next phase, framing Phyllis Summers for it. So when Ian gripes about the authorities not finding Sharon's body yet, he started grilling Jordan on what she did. And she told Ian she dumped Sharon's body and the car. And technically that's true. She just didn't dump the car with Sharon inside it. And, Jordan dumped Sharon somewhere else entirely, into a sewer. So after reassuring him to be patient, Jordan's going to demand he focus on her revenge goal, taking action against Claire Newman. But so far, Ian has pretty much shown all he cares about is having his plan carried out by Jordan, and she's taking all the risks. Ian really has no skin in this game, even if she were caught. If Jordan is nabbed by the cops near Sharon or caught kidnapping Phyllis, she could even say she was working with Ian, but it would be her word against his. And since he's out on parole and she basically escaped prison through that prison swap thing, she'd go down and he'd probably be fine. And you have to wonder, as a viewer, if Ian ever intended to do what he promised Jordan. I mean, maybe Ian planned all along to have Jordan do all these dirty, dangerous deeds, tampering with Sharon's medication, killing Heather, kidnapping Sharon and, killing her. And then Ian may have planned to kill Jordan, tie up loose ends, leave town with Mariah without ever fulfilling his part of the bargain. I mean, that sounds like something he might do. But one thing about Jordan, she's got no problem killing people. Remember Nikki's friend from Alcoholics Anonymous that was giving Jordan info about Nikki? If you remember, Jordan just shoved him in front of a car and he was run over and died. And she had Claire poison all the Newmans and she has no problem drugging people. And she was ready to kill all the Newmans without losing a moment's sleep. But Ian, he is not like a big murdery guy. I mean, he's awful. I will tell you that. He takes advantage of young women. He blackmails, he kidnaps, he extorts, he breaks out of prison. But in general, he's kind of unlike Jordan because Ian doesn't like to get his hands dirty killing people. And if Jordan doesn't follow orders, I'm kind of wondering what he's going to do. There's that saying, anyone's capable of murder given the right circumstances. I'm sure that applies to Ian Ward. And if she pushes him too far, I could see him attacking Jordan. And things get messier between them real soon. On Friday, Ian gives Jordan more orders. And once again, she goes rogue. And this time, it may be about Phyllis Summers. And I think she's going to stash her down there with Sharon. We do know Phyllis and Sharon wind up in the same spot together in a life or death situation. And given that Sharon is chained up in a sewer, I'm kind of guessing Phyllis may end up down there with her, since Sharon's chained at all and all that and can't just meet Phyllis somewhere else. So Ian is wanting confirmation that Sharon's body was found, but I think Jordan can get by with this a little while longer because it's plausible to think that something happened. She was in the car and it went over the bridge. The door came open in the crash. Sharon's body could have been taken downstream, separate from the car. And if it doesn't turn up soon, that's when I think he might get more suspicious. And if he gives an order about Phyllis and that doesn't go like it's supposed to, whether it's her missing, her dead in the river, whatever, Ian may realize Jordan is lying to him and scheming and not following orders. He's threatened her a few times, and Ian likes to remind her that she owes him because he got her out of prison. And whenever he does that, Jordan will play nice for a minute and tell him she is grateful. But every day that Ian doesn't repay what she did by doing her dirty work, like he said he would, she gets closer to snapping on Ian. And there's a 2025 YNR preview spoiler that says there's a Nikki versus Jordan showdown and also a Victor versus Ian showdown. And we've already seen a contentious encounter between Victor and Ian. And with the Nikki one ahead, that means that Jordan is going to be outed soon. And after these individual showdowns with Newman family members, I could see them doing some kind of final villain boss battle between Jordan and Ian. I think it'd be nice if the two psychos took each other out like trash and spared everybody else the trouble of doing it. I mean, if Jordan and Ian got into a life or death confrontation, it's kind of hard to guess who'd win. He does usually prey on women, but that's like sexually and in a creepy way. And then he has other people do the grunt work, because he gaslit them into it. But Jordan has no issues going up against a man or a woman. Remember, she shoved Nick on the stairs. She stabbed him that one time. She'll fight anybody if she has to. And she fights dirty. I would personally really like to see them kill each other, so we're kind of done with them both. I really do like both actors. Ray Weiss is always the perfect villain. And I had been hoping for a while they would bring Ian back. Colleen Zenk is a great actress, but I feel like that Jordan's not as good a villain as him. And I know some people listening will probably disagree, but what I do know is this plot has been going on since July and it needs to be wrapped up. Whether Jordan kills Ian or he kills Jordan, or if one of the Newmans kills them both, that's all fine with me. I guess them being arrested would be fine too, although Jordan burned down a jail to escape before. So even arresting her is no guarantee that she'll stay gone. That's why I'm hoping for a deadly showdown between them where Ian's raging at Jordan for not following orders and she claps back, calling him a liar who never intended to do what he promised. And by the end of this week, Jordan does another thing against his orders, possibly to Phyllis. And remember, Nick is out there hunting for Sharon. As I said, I thought was going to happen, Lyndon Ashby is back as Cameron Kirsten. Sharon's off her meds and Jordan drugged her, so she is hallucinating him again. And Cameron told Sharon it's the same sewer where she killed him. He even said the blood stain is still there. And it would be an insane coincidence if that is true. And the place where she stabbed Cameron to death is where she's now chained. Like, what are the odds? Because that's actually somewhere Nick might think to look for her, just because it was the site of a past trauma that Sharon suffered. And if Nick thinks there's a chance she might be having some kind of mental meltdown, breakdown, I could see him actually checking there. And once Phyllis is with her, assuming that that is where Phyllis winds up to, if they escape and Ian hears about it, he may throttle Jordan and she may get stabby with him and we might all get lucky and this story just ends.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.